5 years after their divorce, he saw his ex again, and she's married to a CEO. He asked if we could start over. He actually looked me in the eye after 3 years of complete silence and asked me to toss my entire life aside for a second chance with him. I just smiled, a calm, easy smile he'd never seen before, and said, "I'm sorry, but my husband would never approve." The look on his face when he realized my husband was his new CEO, that's a memory I'll treasure forever. But let me back things up. 3 years ago, that same man shattered my world into a million pieces. And the story of how I put it all back together? That's one I need to tell. For 5 years, life with Mark was a comfortable rhythm. We were that couple, the one everyone just assumed would get married. We had our favorite takeout, our shows to binge, a whole language of inside jokes. I really thought we were building a future. Turns out, I was the only one laying the bricks. And the day I found out wasn't some quiet private heartbreak, it was a public spectacle. I'd planned a surprise party for his big promotion. I invited everyone, our friends, his coworkers. I was just so proud. I went to his office at the end of the day to drag him home, walking in with this big, goofy grin on my face. That grin froze. I saw him through the glass of his brand new corner office. He was with my friend, Sarah. And the way he was holding her, it wasn't a hug between friends. It was intimate, secretive, and it was happening in the very room that was supposed to symbolize our success. The fight that followed wasn't tearful. It was cold, brutal. When I confronted him, he didn't even have the decency to look ashamed. He just sighed like I was some huge inconvenience. Look, it just happened. These things happen. And when I finally broke, when the humiliation just poured out of me, he got cruel. "Honestly, Clara," he said, his voice dripping with a casualness that cut deeper than any yell, "maybe you should have spent less time worrying about my career and more time at the gym. Sarah she gets it. She takes care of herself." He told me I was boring, that I'd let myself go. Every word was a poison dart aimed to kill my confidence, and every single one hit its mark. He made it crystal clear he was upgrading and I was being left behind. The final shot came when I was packing my things from our apartment. He leaned against the doorframe, a smug smirk on his face. "Good luck out there," he said. "You'll realize you had it good with me." He made me feel worthless, and for a long, long time, I actually believed him. The first few months were just gray. Getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. It wasn't just losing him, it felt like I had lost myself. His words were on a loop in my head every time I looked in the mirror. I dodged friends because I couldn't stand their pitying looks, the ones that confirmed I was just the girl who got cheated on and thrown away. The shift didn't happen overnight. It started one morning with a single, tiny, defiant thought. I refuse to let his voice define the rest of my life. That was the spark. I started small. I painted my new, tiny apartment a ridiculously bright yellow. I threw out all my us clothes. Then I decided to fight his words with action. I joined a running club. At first, it was pure torture, but with every painful mile, it felt like I was running away from the ghost of his criticism and towards someone stronger. I took all the energy I'd poured into Mark's career and aimed it at my own. I was a graphic designer, and I started hustling, taking on freelance projects, building a portfolio that was bold and all me. I worked late, not because I was lonely, but because I was passionate again. I got a promotion, then another. I wasn't a supporting character anymore. I was the lead. About a year later, I was at a design conference when I met David. It was nothing dramatic, just a chat over terrible coffee about a speaker we both liked. He didn't use any lines, he just listened. He asked about my work, and his eyes genuinely lit up when I talked about my passion projects. He was brilliant and driven, the CEO of a fast-growing tech firm. But the thing that really got me was his kindness. Our relationship grew slowly, built on respect. He celebrated my wins like they were his own. Months in, when I finally told him about Mark, he didn't give me any empty platitudes. He just took my hand and said, "The man was a fool." He had no idea what an incredible woman was standing right in front of him. For the first time, I felt seen. This wasn't a rebound. It was a reconstruction. This was the kind of secure, healthy love that finally healed the wound Mark had left. 2 years after we met, we got married. It was a small ceremony, just for us. Standing there, holding David's hands, I felt this sense of peace I never thought was possible. I was happy, I was secure, and I was loved by a man who valued my mind as much as my heart. I had finally, truly moved on.
Life with David was everything. We were true partners. Then, one afternoon, I got a message on social media. It was from Mark. "Hey Clara, it's been a while. You look happy. I'd love to catch up and apologize for everything." My first instinct was to delete and block him, but a stronger, calmer part of me was curious. I wasn't scared of him anymore. His opinion had no power over me. So I agreed to meet him for coffee, for one reason, to get the closure he never gave me. He was already at a table, and he looked smaller. The old arrogance was gone, replaced with this tired anxiety. He told me his life hadn't exactly gone to plan. His thing with Sarah blew up in less than a year. He'd bounced between jobs, never really landing on his feet. He apologized, and for the first time, it sounded like he meant it. He said he'd been insecure, a fool, and took it all out on me. And then he made his move. "I've changed, Clara," he said, leaning in. "Seeing you now, I realize what a huge mistake I made. That life we had, we can have it again. We can just start over." I let the silence hang in the air. The old Clara might have felt a pang of pity, but she was long gone. "Mark," I said, my voice steady, "I appreciate the apology, but a second chance is just not possible." "Why not?" he pleaded, desperation creeping into his voice. "Is there someone else? I can be better than him, I swear." I gave him that small, peaceful smile. "I'm sorry, but my husband would never approve." The word husband hit him like a punch. "You're married?" I just nodded. "For a year, and I'm incredibly happy." He looked completely defeated, but one last flicker of his old self surfaced. "Who is he? Some boring accountant? I'm about to get a huge new role. I can give you a better life." And there it was, the perfect, unplanned checkmate. "I don't think you are," I said softly. "You work for North Star Tech, right?" "They were just acquired." He looked confused. "Yeah, how did you know that?" I stood up and grabbed my purse. "My husband is David Chen, and his first order of business as the new CEO was restructuring your entire department." I didn't need to look back. I could feel his world tilting on its axis as I walked out of that coffee shop. I didn't feel vengeful or triumphant. I just felt free. It was the final string being cut. My new life wasn't about revenge. It was about choosing myself. I went home to my husband, the man who saw my worth from day one, and I knew, with absolute certainty, that some doors are meant to stay closed forever. If this story resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of new beginnings. And share your own stories of overcoming heartbreak in the comments. You never know who you might inspire. True strength isn't about getting even. It's about building a life so happy that the past has no power over you. It's about knowing your own worth so completely that no one can ever make you doubt it again.